poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. Today we're taking a look at a little bit of a movie sort of anticipation. So with me watching Deadpool and Wolverine next Thursday, I thought we'd go back and take a look at Wolverine Origins, or X-Men Origins Wolverine, Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and then Deadpool 3, which is Deadpool and Wolverine, because each one of these films does have both Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in, both of which playing Wolverine and Deadpool in each one of these movies. So I thought it'd be really interesting to go back and take a look at them, and despite what everyone says, X-Men Origins Wolverine is one of my favorite fucking films from the X-Men franchise. I rewatched that shit so many times when I was younger. It is one of my absolute favorite X-Men movies, and I think it gets way too much hate, and I've gone back and rewatched it yet again for another time, and I still absolutely fucking adore it. I still think it's really cool because it has some of my favorite X-Men characters in here, like Gambit, Wolverine, Deadpool. It is absolutely incredible. So, X-Men Origins Wolverine is a 1 hour and 47-minute movie back when superhero movies were normal length. Came out in 2009, same year as my brother was born, and it is an action sci-fi. You can watch this on Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, or Google Play. It has a 6.5 on IMDb, 38% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 4.4 out of 5 on Amazon. So after years of working as a mutant mercenary, Logan lives in a quiet life with his girlfriend Kayla. However, a figure from his past brutally assassinates Kayla, compelling Logan to seek vengeance. So how the story actually goes is we see a young Logan grow bone claws as a child and kill his dad who is abusing his mother. He then runs out to the wild and his brother follows him. They run away and they go into the army being killed off, and reviving themselves through their sort of healing factor throughout the entirety of these wars. They then get put together in this little task force with Wolverine, Gambit, and a couple of other heroes, and they kill this guy. Many years later, when Wolverine has left, he gets his bone claws broken and his wife is killed because he does become a lumberjack. He does the Cole in season 4 of Ninjago, where he goes off, stops being a hero, and goes just to be a lumberjack. And he then basically starts running around. He gets captured and infused with adamantium, and he also runs into a farm and basically lives there for a while, learning how to use his new adamantium powers and healing factor. And he goes on a vengeance spree looking for Sabretooth, who has been hired to kill every single other member that was there on the night that you know they all killed that one guy. And in doing so, Logan follows the trail, follows him, and he ends up having to fight Wade Wilson, which is this universe's version of Deadpool, which has a mix of all the characters' powers. He can teleport, like Will.i.am in this movie. He can, use kinetic energy like Gambit. He can also manipulate energy, like one of the dwarfs from Lord of the Rings, I forget his name. And he can shoot laser beams out of his eyes, and he also has a healing factor, and he does have his blades coming out of his hands like Wolverine. They fight on top of a giant pylon, and then he gets shot in the head, because obviously if he gets shot in the brain, his brain can regenerate, but his memories won't, so he forgets entirely who he is, and he forgets his entire past, and basically that movie is written off. So that's a quick summary of the story. Yes, it came out in 2009. The CGI isn't that good, but I would still say that it is better than some of the CGI that we have today. I'm going to be honest, the CGI that we have today is fucking shocking. I don't know why it's so bad, I don't know why it's taken such a turn for the worse, but it is so much better than what we're getting nowadays with such things as Ant-Man Quantumania. This 2009 movie's doing it way better. I'm going to be honest, it is a really interesting take on Wolverine. Again, it is not comic accurate in the slightest. This is like a whole new take on Wolverine, and definitely a whole new take on Deadpool. I'm not a huge fan of this version of Deadpool. I loved it when I was a kid, but that was obviously before I knew who Deadpool actually was. And it is a huge downgrade to what we see in the comics and also what we see in obviously Deadpool 1, 2, and 3 as well. But I'm going to be honest, it still holds a special place in my heart. He is my favorite Sabretooth. This is my favorite rendition of Sabretooth in all of the movies that we've had. I really like this version of Sabretooth. I think he's really cool. And I think he's a really, I don't know, he feels more human-like than what he does in the other X-Men movies, where we see him fighting alongside Magneto. I don't know, I just feel like he's more human, a lot more calmer, a lot more relaxed, and he just feels like he has much more of a threat about him, because he feels a lot smarter and a lot less beast-like, so he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well. Because he's taking out all these other mutants one by one, and it is really sick and also very threatening. The story is a little bit boring. I will admit it's not the most exciting story. It's not the most thrilling adventure or anything like that. But again, it is still one of the better X-Men movies, in my opinion. We don't have them wearing black leather just yet in this movie, which I did recently find out that that was because The Matrix came out around the same time, and that did really well, so they decided to put black leather on the X-Men as well. I'm not gonna lie, the black leather does look pretty sick and it is kind of iconic, and it does do quite well for like a stealth suit, but their iconic sort of yellow and blue is where it's at, I'm gonna be honest. The acting in this movie is also really good. Wolverine is just one of those actors who is born to play this role. I can't see anyone else playing the role of Wolverine. Like, Hugh Jackman has it down to a T, especially with Ryan Reynolds as well playing Deadpool. He has it down to an absolute T, and I feel like this rendition of Sabretooth is also really cool. He is one of my personal favorite X-Men villains. Like, and I want him to appear in more stuff for X-Men because he is super fucking cool. And I don't know why, I just really like villains who are the hero, but like the opposite. Because I really like Venom, he's one of my favorites, and I really like Sabretooth. So those two being like the opposite of Wolverine and Spider-Man just really deepens that connection for me. I think it's really, really cool. But it just gives them something to fight for. And again, it is some of the earliest examples that I have, so it is the two that set the trend of these sort of villains being the opposite of the hero. And that's why I feel like they're so special to me, because they're so unique in how they're the opposite of the hero, but they're also like, the first ones to do it, which makes it quite exciting. Like, it felt new and fresh at the time. The final fight at the end with Wolverine and Deadpool does feel quite anticlimactic, and it does kind of leave it open for Deadpool to return in this form, especially with him just having his head cut off and falling down the silo with his eyes going. If we know Deadpool, and if we know Wolverine's healing factor, just because his head is chopped off doesn't mean that he can regrow that body and he will come back. So it would be very interesting if he is one of the special cameos that does appear in Deadpool 3. And obviously, in my review, it will be filled with spoilers, so in the next 3 days, do stay tuned for that and be wary. But again, this is a movie so close to my heart and so close to like my love for Marvel, because I was a DC boy before I was a Marvel boy, so the X-Men are really what like had me into Marvel, as well as like Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I didn't really care for the Avengers that much. I don't think they're that cool. I think the X-Men are a lot better. But other than that, I think this movie is still a solid 9 out of 10. So to do with that information as you will, I recommend you go check this movie out again before going to see Deadpool 3. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day. And goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. Tomorrow, we will be taking a look at Deadpool 1. So stay tuned. I'm very shocked that we haven't already reviewed it on the channel, I am going to be honest, because it is a fucking great movie.